Okay guys, welcome to Everyday Art by Brittany and Gunter. We're going to do a little bit of jewelry making today, and I want to test some new stuff out as well. So I wanted to show you the keychain that I ended up choosing. I've got paint on my hands, so excuse that. I ended up choosing that I wanted to keep this one. It had some metallics in it. I really liked it, and blue's my favorite color. So that's my keychain that I'm going to keep. And then here I have some double-sided keychains. That one that I showed you earlier was not double-sided. These are double-sided. I did go ahead and do some pieces the other day. That's for one. And then these two are for the other. These are metallics. So what we're going to do is glue some of these pieces together, and then we're going to work on some new pieces that I want to do. So I have these two keychains. I have a ring with a really pretty metallic gold setting, which is some of the skins left over from one of my very first skin sets. I actually made some square. It was actually the back side. The front side was red and yellow, but that was prettier. Then I have two necklace bases here, and I took some skins and I drew a black beach line, and I drew a little palm tree. It's not the world's best palm tree. That was the back side of the skin, and this was the front side, which was also real pretty, but I decided that this looked good for a beach theme, so we're gonna do that. And then I did the same thing with a nighttime beach scene. I've got to get fingerprints off, but I wash them after I'm done. Palm tree with the beach, and it's a night after night. So I've got day and night. So we're going to do those two. And once we get these done, then I've got some new pieces that we're going to work on. I'm going to show you guys how I do my earrings and add the backs to them and all of that. And we're just going to have a little bit of fun today. So, as always, I have my, let me unroll it, my E6000 clear glue. Make sure if you're going to do something like this that you get the glue that dries clear. They do have one that dries white, and that is not what you're going to want. I'm in my living room and not my studio, as my studio is currently being worked on. My whole house really is, from Hurricane Florence, and now we have another hurricane coming. So on the keychains, I can only do one side right now, and then it has to completely cure before I can flip it over and do the other side. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to drip out the edges. I just need to decide how I want to set it, if I want the darker parts at the bottom or if I want to turn it sideways, because I need both to kind of match. So I'm going to put it in my hand for a second and sit here and look at it and see which way I like it, what looks best for me, what I think fits. I think I like that. And I'm going to set it back down, and I'm going to push it in and wiggle it just a little to help the glue harden, to help it hold on. Make sure it's centered. Okay, and then we're going to slide this one to the side. I don't want to pick it up because I don't want to uncenter it. This is the back side of it, but it will be waiting until that fully cures. We're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to set the back side of it up here. I'm going to get the front side and do just the same thing. Make sure you get any little strings that try to pop off. I want to show you guys this one. I'm hoping it focuses in better. But it's very metallic, and it almost looks 3D because of all the metallics in there. There's a gold metallic, a silver metallic, a blue sapphire metallic, I think there's also some gunmetal metallic and then just some standard black. So I really like the way that one looks. If this piece does not sell the first round of being on Etsy, this piece will end up staying with me. I'll post it and give people a chance, but if it doesn't sell the first round, it's a keeper. I'm gonna make sure I get it centered in there really good. And then again, we're gonna slide it because I don't want to uncenter it by lifting it up. And then set it over there. On the rings, I always like to find something to either set them on or through. So if you have a pin that has the clasp, that you can clasp it in place, then I like to do that. That way it sits as even as possible. You just don't want it falling and tilting completely over. I went back and forth on which one to put in this one because I made a couple others. But I do think that this one fits the background color best. I do have other ring settings. So it just took me a minute to do. Decide which way I want it to turn. Because it goes on the finger that way. I think I like that. And then we're just going to pop it back here. Oh, and see, that's what you don't want it to do. You want it to kind of sit as solid as possible. These pins are a little loose and I'm hoping that doesn't change what's going on. Okay, and then we're going to do the day and night palm tree beaches real quick. And then we'll start work on the rest. This is pretty much the final step before cleaning. So this is one of the easier steps. Of course, we know which way I want to sit this one, but I turn it a little just to make sure it fits in there good. Everything's good. Looks good. There we go. Slide it up. Do the same thing with this one. We also know which way we want this one. And see, these pendants can be used as necklaces. They can be used as keychains. Pretty much anything you want to. You can put them on a lanyard, on an ID tag. However you want to use them. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way because our skins are going to take up. But I want to do it very carefully. I don't want to tilt these much. Okay. Let me set my ring back up. Okay, so now I'm going to put the lid back on the glue for a minute because I don't want it to dry out. Focus back down here. Okay, so I am going to do another keychain, double-sided keychain. I'm also going to be doing a beautiful bracelet. I'm going to take the glass out of it to show you. It'll have to be cleaned, of course, because it's been in my thing. But it has a little chain. If it's perfectly, it's not too loose, not too tight. It does extend out if needed. And just to give you an example, I do have this piece already done, so just to show you, you can choose to match your outfits or whatnot. And I think that's beautiful. So we're going to do one of those. I have sold all of those that I have made as soon as I've made them. I don't have any left. Normally, as soon as I make those bracelets, they go straight out the door. I have a gunmetal pendant that I'm going to be doing. I got these really cute anchors I've done an anchor before, but the one that I did before I turned into a keychain. These can be keychains, necklaces, any kind of pendant that you want it to be. I'm going to do 2 of those. And then I have the small flowers that I'm going to make earrings with. And with those, I have a bag of earring hooks that I pull out, and I just pull out a pair of them. Make sure it's the same color as the tray. And I add those to the trays after I add the paint. But I will show you how I do that. These are cat or kitten nail clippers. You find them at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, sometimes Walmart, whatnot has them. They've got that perfect little hook. You hear my cat outside. And I just put it in and pull it. Nice and easy like that. Put the earring in it. Make sure you're putting it the right way so that it holds the right way when you do. I hear you, sassy. And then I just clamp it back, and being sure to leave plenty of room for the earring to maneuver. And then I do a twist, and that locks it in. And that's how I do my earring backs. So I am going to go ahead and do this one since I am showing you. If I can get it in the hole. This one isn't quite as wide. It's different with the companies you order it from. So you just have to be careful and know who you're ordering it from and what their quality materials are. There was one order that I had got from China, and you can't do this with it, and you can't twist it because simply twisting it like that would have broke it. But these came from Texas. There we go. And they work much better than the ones that I had ordered from China. So that's the way I do those. And I'm going to set the trays to the side and the little pieces of glass, and we're going to choose some skins for some different projects. I also have the little elephants that are open on one side, and they have the word love on the other side, and it has the heart as the trunk. And I've got the small pieces for those as well. I may do some of those. We will see. So let me get you guys focused. I do know I have one skin that I have picked out. This is the back side. There's metallics here that I like, that I work with, but right now my main focus is this piece right here with this beautiful reds and yellows. I thought I was going to use the front because the front has the cells and all the little circles. For people that don't know about the cells. And it has the metallics over here. But for some reason, this section of the back is just, I don't know, it's calling my name. It's really pretty. I'm really liking it a lot. Enough so that I feel comfortable using it instead of the cells. So, on this one, I'm going to test a couple different sizes. I don't know if I'm going to make this one a bracelet or if I'm going to do it as a necklace. It all is going to depend on the glass and how it sits and fits. Because that would fit, and I don't think the larger one is going to fit without this glump of green or some of this stuff over here. Not really. So that helps me decide what I'm going to do with it. So we definitely know we're going to use this one in a smaller piece. I'm wiping it off against my shirt. That's something you can't see. The top will stay dirty for a little bit. It's fine. I just don't want fingerprints on the base. There's multiple ways you can do it. I wipe it against my shirt. It's really whatever you want to do. I've had some people that take a Q-tip to it. I've had people that take and rub it with rubbing alcohol, wet ones, different things in that nature, but everybody's different. So I'm just going to put a daub on here. Normally you watch me put it on the glass, but I'm trying to show that it can be done either way. Of the E6000 glue. Wipe the piece off, make sure it's nice and clean, no fingerprints on the bottom. Plop it on the glue. Press. And move it around. Okay, and then I'm going to press down and just move it just a little. In a circular motion. 1, this will get all the bubbles out. 2, it will help the glue to get on the outside of the thing so you don't have any spots that aren't sealed. And 3, it helps the glue dry faster. And then you just move it back and forth a little and give it a second and it starts to harden. You just want to make sure it does that before you leave it alone. That way it doesn't pop up and do. I'm going to pull it down a little further because there was a slight bit of green underneath it and I don't want that green visible. Now while I'm here, my cat is knocking on the window. I want to look at some of these other little spots of metallic. I do like this spot right here, but I don't think it's going to fit. It was pretty close, but it's not going to fit. I like the lines, almost like the tree rings. So we're going to set this to the side. I may use other parts of this, but I'm not currently. So I'm going to set this up here to give that time to dry. And I'm going to go right over here to my other skins. I know, I hear you, baby girl. Okay, and I have this pretty skin. This is the back side, which isn't as pretty as the front. I'm going to switch you over in a minute because it has these drips. If those drips hadn't been there, it probably would have been awesome. It's metallics. This was off of a strainer pour, I believe. I think this is actually what was under the strainer. After I did the strainer pour, I set the strainer on wax paper. And this is the bottom of the strainer that made this. There's some cells here, but I kind of like this. So I was thinking this would be really pretty for one of these. Like an Under the Seas theme. So I want to just move it around and kind of figure out where I want to put it. Just be a little picky about it. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, I think I like that. The cat and the puppy are having so much fun being loud today. Yeah, I think I like that the best. I don't know if you can see all of the different rings and such in it. But once it's glued down and everything, I might try to hold it up and show you. Because I think this light is glaring a little bit. Because it's so close to the table, but I had to kind of set it up as best I could here in the living room because I can't do anything in my art area right now. So you're literally stacked on the top of 2 chairs with a little board. I'm going to put this one on the glass. So see, you can do it either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to sit it down close to where I want it and just push. Make sure we get it out all the edges. Do it in the circle again. Make sure we're good. Get it where I want it. Just checking. I heard a door slam, but I don't see anybody. Back and forth. Get it right where I want it. And it looks good. I'm going to slide it off, leave it where I want it, and try to show you guys the metallics without it sliding. It might be easier to show you guys after. But, so we're going to sit that piece, and I'm going to sit this piece up so I know that I've already dealt with those. So there's those two. let's see what else we have over here to work with today. I have a bunch of skins. I actually have a book of skins over to the side on this same table. You just can't see it right now. Let me just move a few of